There are places on this planet where no amount of curiosity will open the gate. Governments seal some, others by time itself. Whether hidden beneath thick jungle or fenced off in plain sight, they remain untouched, not by accident, but by design. These aren't just restricted zones. They're chapters of the world we're not meant to read. So if you've ever wondered what lies behind the signs and the silence, here are 15 forbidden places you're not allowed to visit. Let's start this countdown with 15. Lascaux Caves, France. Near the village of Montignac, a boy's stray dog led him into darkness and into one of the most extraordinary windows into prehistoric life. The Lascaux Caves, hidden beneath the French hillside, hold over 600 vivid Paleolithic paintings, massive bulls, horses mid-gallop, creatures long extinct. Created nearly 17,000 years ago, the cave art remained untouched until the 1940s. Then came the flood of visitors. Within years, moisture from breath and sweat began damaging the walls. Fungi and mold followed. Colors faded. In 1963, the caves were sealed. Since then, only a handful of scientists have been allowed inside under strict control. The world outside sees only a replica. The real walls stay buried in silence, too fragile for contact. They are not hidden out of pride or secrecy, but out of necessity. Because the smallest breath can undo millennia of history, Lascaux has become one of the few places where presence itself is the danger, and absence is the only form of respect. 14. Maya Bay, Thailand. Framed by towering limestone cliffs and laced with coral, Maya Bay once felt untouched by time. That changed overnight. After appearing in the beach, the secluded Thai cove became a magnet for mass tourism. By 2018, over 1 million people visited each year. Anchors tore through reef beds. Sunscreen clouded the water. Boats lined the shore like a parking lot. The beach was suffocating under its own popularity. In 2019, officials closed it indefinitely. No boats land, no visitors wade ashore. Restoration teams began the slow work of replanting coral, clearing debris, and coaxing life back into a drowned ecosystem. The ban remains. Maya Bay isn't forbidden due to myth or secrecy. It's closed because human love turned into harm. What was once a cinematic paradise is now a sobering reminder that beauty left unguarded rarely survives. Its silence today isn't empty, it's deliberate. It's a breath being held for as long as recovery takes, no matter how long that may be. 13. Grand Shrine of Ise, Japan. Deep within the forest of Mie Prefecture, Japan's Grand Shrine of Ise rests behind wooden fences and centuries of ritual. Built without nails, every beam joined by hand, it is deconstructed and rebuilt every 20 years, an unbroken cycle stretching back more than 1,300 years. The shrine honors Amaterasu, the sun goddess at the heart of Japan's imperial ancestry. But while its outer grounds are open to quiet footsteps, the Sacred Heart remains sealed. Only Shinto priests and members of the imperial family may pass the final threshold. There are no glimpses inside, no photos, no ceremonies for outsiders. This is not secrecy for the sake of mystique, it's devotion maintained through distance. While the rest of the world races forward, Ise remains rooted in something slower, older, quieter. Its power lies not in what it reveals, but in what it withholds. And in that choice to remain unseen, it becomes one of the most untouchable places on Earth. 12. Morgan Island, Monkey Island, USA. Off the coast of South Carolina, Morgan Island floats in isolation. There are no roads, no docks, no signs welcoming visitors. Its only residents, over 3,000 rhesus macaques, rule the trees, the ground, the sky above. Originally brought here in 1979 after disease outbreaks in Puerto Rico, the colony has lived undisturbed for decades. But there's a reason no one steps ashore. The monkeys carry the herpes B virus, harmless to them, but potentially lethal to humans. Access is banned. No tourists, no casual researchers. Even scientific teams require quarantine before and after entry. Food is delivered by automated systems. Surveillance is remote. The risk is not theoretical, it's absolute. Morgan Island is not a secret. It's visible from nearby waters, but its edge is a hard stop, not out of superstition, but science. What lies beyond that tree line is wild, dangerous, and fully claimed. And the message is clear. Some places are not meant for people, no matter how curious. 11. Uluru, Ayers Rock, Australia. Rising from Australia's red earth like a breath held in stone, Uluru is more than a landmark. It is sacred terrain. For the Anangu people, its surface holds ancestral stories, laws, and spiritual weight. For years, tourists climbed it without permission, leaving behind trash, carvings, and even shameful behavior. The damage wasn't only physical, it was cultural erosion. After decades of pleas from indigenous leaders, climbing was officially banned in 2019. The path closed, railings came down. Visitors may still observe Uluru from designated areas and learn its stories, but the rock itself is no longer open for footprints. Certain angles are off limits to cameras. Even digital platforms removed images at the request of elders. Uluru doesn't need to be explored to be understood. Its silence carries meaning. And now that meaning is protected, not fenced off, but finally honored. The ban is not about exclusion. It's about presence being too heavy. And sometimes reverence begins where access ends. 10. Mezhgori, Russia. Hidden deep in the Ural Mountains, Mezhgori remains one of the most inaccessible towns on Earth. Established during the Cold War, the town operates in complete secrecy. Roads leading in are blocked. Entry is denied without explanation. Even aerial maps avoid close detail. Residents, numbering in the thousands, are believed to work on classified operations tied to national defense. Some say it houses Russia's nuclear command center. Others believe in something even deeper. Buried systems, unmanned weapons, technology kept far from reach. But no facts surface. Those inside don't speak. Those outside don't get close. Guards are stationed far before the town's edge. An approach is treated as provocation. This isn't a location lost in time. It's fully active, just permanently closed to the outside world. Nothing about it invites attention. And that silence, year after year, has kept it exactly where it wants to be. A place that exists, but never welcomes, never explains, and never leaves room for questions. 9. North Sentinel Island, India, surrounded by shifting waters and dense reefs. North Sentinel Island rests untouched by the modern world. The Sentinelese people live there, as they have for generations, without roads, without outside influence, without interest in contact. Those who've tried to reach them haven't returned. Warnings are unnecessary. Their message is clear every time. They don't want visitors, help, religion, or conversation. The Indian government enforces distance, not as punishment, but protection. Disease alone could destroy the entire community. Even peaceful contact brings risks they never asked to face. Navy patrols watch the waters. The law protects their borders. Few places have remained this undisturbed. And that's not because they've been forgotten. It's because they've insisted on staying apart. The tribe doesn't live in isolation by chance. They've chosen it. And the world, for once, has agreed to step back. What they guard isn't land. It's a way of life that survives by keeping the outside out and refusing to be anything but their own. 8. Pravchitska Brana. Czech Republic. High above the trees in Bohemian Switzerland stands a sandstone arch that once carried footsteps across its curved spine. Pravchitska Brana isn't hidden, but it's out of reach. Wind, rain, and time shaped it over millions of years. Thin, fragile, elegant. Tourists once climbed it freely until erosion threatened collapse. In 1982, that stopped. Access was cut, not with fences, but with quiet rules. You can still see it. You just can't walk it. From the trails below, the arch appears timeless. But every season takes more than it gives. There's no repairing a natural structure like this. There's only preserving what's left. It wasn't closed to keep people away. It was closed to give the stone a little more time. Pravchitska Brana still stands, but its strength isn't what it was, and stepping on it now would be the end of it. So we step back, letting the wind continue the slow work it started long before we arrived. 7. Poveglia Island, Italy. In the waters near Venice, there's an island where nothing grows quite right. Poveglia has seen too much. Centuries ago, it became a dumping ground for plague victims. Bodies burned and buried in haste. Later, a hospital rose there, and with it, stories of mistreatment and loss. Most of those records are gone. What remains is silence. The buildings have crumbled, the earth still stained by fire. Locals speak of unease, of voices where no one stands. But the real danger isn't ghosts. It's what lingers in the soil. Pathogens, toxins, decay left too long undisturbed. Italy has placed a ban on entry. No tours, no restorations, just a quiet warning to leave it be. Not because it holds secrets, but because it holds things we've long tried to forget. Some ruins invite curiosity. Poveglia doesn't. It stands with its back turned, offering no story, no welcome. Just a reminder that not everything lost is waiting to be found. 6. Herd Island, Australia. Herd Island lies beyond shipping lanes, beyond routine weather, beyond most imagination. It belongs to Australia, but barely. Reaching it requires weeks of sea travel through punishing storms. The island itself greets no one. Its glaciers shift without warning. Mawson Peak, a volcano buried under ice, still breathes fire beneath the cold. The air cuts deep. The terrain changes with every season. Only researchers with special clearance have ever stood on its shores, and even they stay briefly. There are no trails, no structures, no safe return once stranded. Conservation laws keep it protected, but nature enforces them. It's not forbidden in name. It simply does not allow itself to be occupied. Fewer than 100 people have visited in modern history, and even they saw little more than wind, stone, and silence. Herd Island is not lost or forgotten. It's intact, unreachable, and perfectly alone. Some places don't close their doors. They were never open to begin with. 5. Pluto's Gate, Turkey. Beneath the ruins of Hierapolis sits a cave the ancient world never tried to explain. They called it Pluto's Gate, a threshold to the underworld itself. Livestock were led inside and died within seconds. Birds dropped mid-flight. Priests stood beside it, untouched, as if favored by gods. Centuries passed before anyone questioned why. Today, the answer is simple but no less dangerous. Volcanic cracks release dense carbon dioxide that settles near the cave floor. The gas is invisible, odorless, and deadly. It collects low, just high enough to choke anything that breathes close to the ground. Small animals suffocate without warning. Human exposure lasts minutes at most. Though the ruins are open, the gate remains sealed. Not out of myth or fear, but necessity. There's no barrier, no ritual, just air too heavy to breathe. And the truth is colder than legend. Some doors were never meant to be opened, not because of what lies beyond, but because of what seeps from beneath. 4. Snake Island, Brazil. Rising from rough water off Brazil's southeastern coast, Snake Island has no ports, no paths, and no welcome. Its forested slopes belong to one inhabitant, the golden lancehead viper. Isolated for thousands of years, these snakes evolved in silence, their venom growing faster, stronger, deadlier. No hesitation, no chance. The island's density is beyond reason. One viper for every square meter. Even trained researchers rarely set foot here. Brazil's Navy blocks all access, not for drama, not for myth, simply because no one returns the same. The venom doesn't wait. It acts before a scream, before help, before any human instinct can react. Stories circulate, but data is scarce. There are a few survivors to tell it. The ban is absolute. No permits, no exceptions. It's not a warning, it's a conclusion. Snake Island isn't forbidden by superstition. It's held apart by reality. And it stands not as a relic or reserve, but as a place nature made final, without apology or room for negotiation. 3. Surtsey Island, Iceland. Off Iceland's southern coast, fire broke through the sea in 1963 and formed something rare, a place untouched by accident or intention. Surtsey wasn't built, it wasn't discovered. It rose from ash, alone, and became a starting point. Over time, birds nested, seeds drifted, insects arrived. No one brought them. They came with wind, with chance. Scientists watched it unfold, quietly, methodically, not to control it, but to witness something we rarely see, land becoming life. That's why the island remains closed. Human contact would change everything. A dropped wrapper, a boot print, a seed carried on a jacket. Any of it could rewrite the experiment. Secrecy isn't protected like a monument. It's protected like a question. Only select researchers step onto the shore, and even they follow rules tighter than most labs. This isn't about preserving a place, it's about not disturbing a process. In a world already mapped and measured, secrecy reminds us what the beginning still looks like when left entirely alone. 2. Niihau Island, Hawaii, USA. Just beyond Kauai's horizon, Niihau holds to its rhythm. No roads connected, no visitors wander through. Electricity is drawn from the sun. Horses carry people across open land. The island's few hundred residents live without convenience, but not without intention. Niihau isn't abandoned, it's preserved. Purchased in the 19th century, it remains privately held, and access has never been given lightly. Outsiders aren't barred with fences or soldiers. They're simply never invited. The native Hawaiian language thrives here, spoken every day. Children learn without interference. Families live without rent. The U.S. military holds a quiet footprint, but the island's soul belongs to its people. No resorts, no ports, no drone flyovers. Even maps blur the details. It's not secrecy, it's a choice. Niihau isn't resisting modern life. It just never needed it. The ban on public entry isn't about exclusivity. It's about survival, cultural and otherwise. Some places vanish from neglect. Others remain by staying exactly as they've always been, no matter who's watching. 1. Heart Reef, Australia. Tucked within the Coral Sea, nature shaped a perfect heart in shallow waters. Quiet, brilliant, alive. Heart Reef drew admiration the way a flame draws moths. Boats hovered too close. Divers posed on its edge. Over time, beauty turned fragile. Coral broke, colors faded, life pulled back. Authorities stepped in, not to punish, but to pause the damage. All water access was banned. No swimming, no anchoring, no exceptions. Heart Reef is still visible, but only from above. Flights now offer the only legal view, gliding over its outline without casting shadows that might harm. There's no dock, no touch point, just a shape that endures only when left alone. This isn't about creating distance. It's about protecting what distance has left intact. The reef doesn't need us near, it needs us gone. In choosing silence, it survives. Heart Reef doesn't invite closeness anymore. It asks for restraint. And in doing so, it reminds us that love, real love, sometimes means not reaching at all. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll catch you later.